Hello and welcome to Afterlife Adventures, Case File 1 of our series, Women Executed on Death Row, featuring Barbara Graham. Please join me as we go back in time to 1923. Barbara Graham was born Barbara Elaine Ford in 1923 in Oakland, California. Barbara's mother, Hortense Ford, was an unwed mother who earned a living as a prostitute. When Barbara was 2 years old, her mother was sent to a reformatory and reportedly gave Barbara to neighbors to raise, where she received no schooling or any kind of formal education. Barbara was a troubled teenager who found herself in trouble with the law and was sent to the same reformatory as her mother. Upon Barbara's release in 1939, she tried to turn her life around by attending a business college, and she got married and soon had her first child. She was divorced by 1941 and was jailed for 60 days for lewd and disorderly conduct. After her release, she married a second time, but it only lasted a few months. In 1944, she was arrested for prostitution. Barbara worked for a time as a waitress and a nurse in Nevada, but she soon went back to prostitution. By the 1950s, Barbara worked in bars, brothels, and casinos, and she had been arrested for prostitution, perjury, narcotics, and forging checks. Barbara married for a third time in 1951, but again that didn't last, and she soon met and married bartender Henry Graham. She had a third child with Graham named Tommy. While Barbara was married to Henry, she was having an affair with Emmett Perkins, one of her husband's friends, who owned a gambling parlor where Barb was employed. Barbara agreed to help Perkins, who also was a bit player in LA mobster Mickey Cohen's operation, and another friend, Jack Santos, rob an elderly widow named Mrs. Mabel Monahan. Perkins, Santo, Barbara, and a fourth member named John True went to Mabel's house and attempted to rob her. Mabel refused to hand over the goods to the gang, according to John True's statement. Barbara got angry with Mabel and began to pistol whip her, and when that didn't suffice, she suffocated Mabel with a pillow. Barbara, Perkins, and Santo were arrested, but John True testified against them to avoid prosecution. All three were convicted and sentenced to the death penalty. While Barbara was in prison, she tried to bribe two inmates who were actually undercovers, one to say he was with her the night of the murder, and one to give her an alibi. Barbara was sent to the California Institute for Women in Corona, where she was then driven to San Quentin, California. The California State Gas Chamber was housed in San Quentin and was a steel capsule that contained two metal chairs for the condemned. Barbara's mother brought her son Tommy to say goodbye, who was 2 when she was executed. Barbara was scheduled to be executed on June 3, 1955 at 10 a.m., but due to a last-minute appeal, it was stayed until 10:45. Barbara wore a beige suit with lipstick and earrings and requested a blindfold. She had a second stay of execution until 11:30, where Barbara was reportedly upset and stated, "Why do they torture me? I was ready to go at 10. Barbara was led to the chair blindfolded and strapped into one of 2 chairs. She wanted the blindfold so she wouldn't have to see the witnesses. Joe Ferretti was in charge of the execution and told her, "Now, take a deep breath and it won't bother you," where Barbara reportedly replied, "How in the hell would you know?" The cyanide pellets were dropped at 11:36. She strained against the straps and threw her head back, remaining in this position until she was unconscious and slumped forward. Barbara's body was claimed by her husband, Henry Graham. 3 hours later, the 2 other accomplices were also executed, side by side. Barbara never showed any remorse for killing Mabel Monahan and was dubbed Bloody BABS for the gruesomeness of the murder. Barbara was the 3rd woman to be executed by the state of California. Barbara described herself as paying for a life of little sins, and when interviewed on death row, she told the reporter, "If I have to spend the rest of my life in prison, I'll take the gas chamber." Barbara was executed on June 3rd, 1955. If you like this video and would like to see more videos from our series, Women Executed on Death Row, please subscribe to Afterlife Adventures and hit the notification button to be notified when new videos are uploaded. Thanks for watching.